Pause so that you can have a chance to say it all by yourself. How's it going? How's it going? There are cars in the sun. There are cars in the sun. Okay, now it's your turn. Say it all by yourself. You got this. Great work. That was a lot of pronunciation practice, but before we go, let's do a quick review. If you'd like to say these sentences out loud with me, please do that. That's the best way to improve your pronunciation and also just to remember these concepts. I thought he wouldn't appreciate the plan. The winner of the International Winter Olympics has gotten an important award on the internet. He'll go if we'll go, and they'll go if you'll go. How's it going? There are cars in the sun. And now I have a question for you. In the comments, let me know, what is something that's really important to you? I want you to use this word important because in the middle we have that glottal T, import, and then at the end we have a stop T, important. There's no T that we actually speak at the end. So if you can say your sample sentence that you write in the comments out loud, that'll be beautiful practice. You can read each other's sentences as well to see what kind of things are important to people all around the world. You might be wondering, what in the world is an American idiom? Well, these idioms might be understood by people in the UK, but they're most often used by Americans. And if you said one of these to someone from the US, they would instantly understand what you meant, and they wouldn't feel weird at all, like you were using an expression that they hadn't heard very often. For each of these idioms, I'm going to tell you a little story, and I want you to guess what you think the idiom means based on the context. So for our first idiom, I want to tell you a quick story about last week. One of my friends who has a small baby, we were going to get together, and in the morning when we were about to get together, she called me and said, "Hey Vanessa, I'm sorry, I got to take a rain check because my baby's not feeling too well, so I want to just relax at home and maybe we can get together next week." What do you think this idiom, take a rain check, means? Take a rain check. Think about it for a moment. In this context, we were going to get together, but we needed to change some plans because her baby wasn't feeling well. That's exactly what this idiom means. Change your plans. We need to delay or just push back our plans because something happened. Maybe you just are feeling tired or you're feeling sick, so you need to change your plans. You could say, I need to take a rain check. Or, let's take a rain check and do our event next week. Let's take a rain check. It's easy to remember this expression if you can remember the base word rain. Let's imagine you're trying to have some kind of event outside. Maybe you're trying to get married outside like I was, and it rains like it was on my wedding. Well, you can't have the event outside. You have to go inside. So you need to change your plans because of the weather. So this is kind of the origin of the expression, but we can use it in any situation where you're changing plans. The second American idiom is to shoot the breeze. Let me tell you a quick story so you can guess the meaning. In a couple days, I'm getting together with a childhood friend who I haven't seen for a while. And when I told my husband that I was going to get together with her, he said, "What are you going to do? You haven't seen her for a long time." And I said, I don't know, shoot the breeze, just sit together, we'll figure out something. What do you think from this quick story that shoot the breeze means? Well, we can imagine the word breeze means like a small wind. We can imagine a breeze coming out of your mouth when you're talking. So, shooting the breeze means just to chit-chat together, to talk about daily life, nothing too deep or important, just to chat. So, I said I'm gonna just shoot the breeze with her. I'm not gonna take a gun and shoot the wind. That would be a pretty crazy activity together, but instead we just talked. So there was wind coming out of our mouths, breeze, and this means we didn't really talk about anything serious or substantial, just chit-chat, just chatted. The third American idiom is to plead the fifth. Let me tell you a quick story so you can guess what it means. Let's imagine that your friend comes over to your house and he says, "Oh man, I just went on a date with Sarah yesterday. It was so great." And then you say, "Did you kiss her?" And he might say, "I plead the fifth." What does this mean? Why did he say, "I plead the fifth"? Well, the word plead means, I beg, please, please, I'm begging. And the fifth, what in the world is the fifth? Why not the fourth, the 10th? Why is there a number here? Well, this is referencing the Constitution of the United States. In the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment says you don't need to say anything that is going to incriminate you in court. But when your friend was talking to you about kissing a girl on a date, was he worried about going to court or going to jail? No. So let's talk about the original meaning of this expression, the political meaning, and then we'll talk about how it got interpreted in daily conversation. Well, let's imagine that you're driving really fast and a policeman pulls you over and you roll down your window and he says, "Excuse me, have you been drinking alcohol? Have you been smoking weed? Have you been doing drugs?" You could say, "I plead the fifth." And this means